Hello, and welcome to the Love Your Work Life podcast. I'm your host, Elissa Shuck. Whether you're going for that next promotion, looking for a job, or making a career pivot, I'll teach you how to navigate it all so you can have the career you want. Welcome to episode 47. Super excited to have you here. You know, one of the interesting and common situations I find with clients is when they start looking for a job, especially when they've been doing what they've been doing for a long time, whether that's a job they love and they're ready to move on to a new industry, or a job they really don't like, and they're ready to find a new company culture, a new manager. It's really common to start looking and not see anything. You're ready, but you're looking and nothing seems right. Nothing feels good. You find yourself kind of picking these jobs apart and not really seeing yourself in those roles. So for today's episode, I'm actually going to share a little snippet of the live group coaching call I did on this topic inside Job Search Field Guide. I'm going to give you some really practical ways to bust through that nothing is there, I can't find a job to apply for, what if there's nothing available for me, kinds of barriers that you might be encountering. All right, enjoy. Hello there. Let's talk job search strategy. Listen, you know, you're not going to get a job unless you look for a job. And what I want to talk to you about today is when you're looking, but you're not finding anything. When you're looking, but nothing feels quite right. You might have this nagging little feeling that this isn't good for me. I know maybe everything just seems mediocre. Or maybe everywhere you look, all you can think about is the what if it's a bad company culture? What if this hiring manager is a micromanager? What if it's toxic? What if the things they're saying about themselves aren't true? These are all normal thoughts that you will have, especially if you've been through a job loss that was very jarring to you, very unexpected, the company restructured and you lost your job, or if you're in a toxic environment and you're just constantly feeling the weight of that environment, it can be very challenging to see opportunity in anything, because you're just carrying this baggage around with you. You're wearing those glasses, if you will, of the place you just came from or the place you're trying to leave seems to be influencing the opportunities that you see for yourself. Like I said, this is totally normal. Our brains are wired for protection, for survival. We have to do this to stay safe, but our brains can't tell the difference between going and hiding in a cave because there's a hurricane outside, or a tornado, whatever you want to call it, or hiding from potential danger that is related to exposing ourselves to toxic places and toxic people, or places that have turned out to be insecure and unstable. So you want to override that primitive brain thinking, that lizard brain thinking, and start to open yourself to opportunities by being very, very intentional and processing the feelings you have, but moving past them. One of the ways you can think about this is being a very compassionate witness to your brain, right? If you're in a toxic environment right now, well, your brain is doing its job. It's trying to protect you from going there again. But the thoughts that you're having about future opportunities, if they are being influenced by the things that are happening to you or the things that have happened to you, then that's not serving you at all, because all you're doing is failing ahead of time. You're not landing a job. You're choosing not to land a job. Or worst case scenario, if your thought is the only jobs that are out there are toxic environments, guess what? That's all you're going to see is toxic environments, whether that's real or imagined. So the technique I'm going to teach you today is to help you get past those thoughts and consider what actually is possible for you by, instead of focusing on the negative what ifs, to create a list of the positive what ifs. So now I want you to dive a little bit deeper and start to target the perfect role for yourself. Take some time, write out all of the ideal qualities in the roles that you're seeking. So if your ideal role is that you get to lead a team, write that down. If your ideal role is that you get to present to leadership, if your ideal role includes strategizing and influencing team direction, company direction, department direction, all of those things that you want to participate in, that you can envision yourself participating in, list all of those things, because this is going to help you start to process away from what you don't want and towards what you do want. It's very powerful. And thoughts are just words, right? Thoughts are just strings of words in our brain. So when you start writing those strings of words on a piece of paper about the things you want in a role, the things you want in a company, it will start to help you create new and better strings of words in your brain. Now, you might consider looking back through your career history and pick out the favorite things. What about those favorite things are actually possible for you in what you want next? And write them down very specifically, even in, job description kind of format. This is where exploring job descriptions after you've created this list can be very helpful, because now you have a better awareness about the things that align to what you want, and you'll start seeing more of what you want in those job descriptions. So when a few little things start to light you up, you'll start to see more and more and more. So combine this idea of your ideal is actually possible for you with job search strategy, seeking jobs, exploring jobs, looking at companies, looking at job titles and job descriptions, so that you can create this better sense of possibility, this better sense that you're not necessarily doomed to create what you didn't like in the past, or to fall into an opportunity that's so much like your past. You actually have the ability to create the role you want by knowing exactly what it is first, and then evaluating all roles, all opportunities against that ideal list. You're deciding here. And it's really amazing how, when you're clear on what you want, more and more of the opportunities that come your way are actually aligned with that. It's just the way our brains work. And it's just the way a job search can work when you get really, really intentional about what you want, as specific as possible. Don't feel like you have to water it down to have possibilities. Watering it down is exactly that, watering it down. Get super specific, get super clear, and then start looking and exploring for the companies and roles and decide if those are meeting your expectations for what you want. All right. Thanks, everybody. If you like listening to this podcast, and you are going to love my program, Job Search Field Guide. This is a unique opportunity. I offer group coaching 3 times a week alongside a 5-step process to help you land a job quickly. So I hope you will join me in Job Search Field Guide. This is going to be revolutionary to your career journey and your job search, and you get lifetime access. So find it at elissashuck-careercoach.com, and I will see you there.